Hi guys, I'm Monica and I'm going to show you how to crochet this spiderweb top. Whenever I'm out and about, I always get compliments on this or people asking me how to make it. So I thought I would make a tutorial video. This one, I really like it, but it's not the most symmetrical and it used a bunch of like excess yarn. So I was going to make it more symmetrical, use less yarn, and also sit on me much tighter because this is like too wide of a neck, and just make some improvements on the original design. But it's super drapey compared to other things I crochet. It's perfect for Halloween or just putting it over a tank top in the summer. So yeah. Okay, so all I'm using for this project is 2 skeins of this light purple yarn. I'm using 100% acrylic big twist, just the stuff you get at Joann's, in soft purple. But if you want to look more like a spider web, definitely recommend using white. And then have this 5mm hook. And then I'm just using a bobby pin as a stitch marker. First thing I'm gonna do is make a magic circle. So if you don't know how to make a magic circle, I'm gonna link below a tutorial on how to, because it just will explain it a lot better than me. First, I'm gonna do a chain 2, and then around the circle I'm gonna make 12 double crochet stitches. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. After that, I'm just gonna close up my magic circle as much as I can and slip stitch into our original chain. And then if you want to mark your stitches, I'm just using a bobby pin and inserting it into the chain we just slip stitched into. Next, I'm going to chain 2. This acts as a double crochet where we just slip stitched. And then I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to double crochet into the double crochet right below. Basically for this row, we're going to continue obviously double crocheting on each of our 12 original double crochets, but then we'll add a chain space between each, and this is how we're increasing our initial web. So you go chain 1, double crochet into your last double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into your last double crochet, and then go all the way around the circle like that. Chain 1, double crochet, Okay, and now that I'm where my original slip stitch is, I'm gonna take out my stitch marker, do a single crochet, and then let me count my stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Gonna chain 1, and then I'm going to just slip stitch into our chain 2 from before. And that completes the, there we go. And that completes our second row, so you can see how we are kind of increasing. Now to start the third row, I'm chaining 2 for our double crochet space, and I'm going to put my stitch marker where we just came from, just so I know where the circle starts and ends. And then I'm gonna chain 2 and double crochet into the previous double crochet space. And for this row, we are continuing the same like increase. So instead of doing chain 1 double crochet, you're doing chain 2 double crochet, chain 2 double crochet all around until you finish it. So we're expanding that circle. And what's really good about this method of expanding is that all of your whole spider web will look really symmetrical by the end of it. You'll be able to see that the lines are like very continuous, and the only thing that increases are the actual webby parts, which I think will look really good. And then as you continue to expand it, you're going to end up like measuring the spider web against yourself until it's a size that you are comfortable with. So it's kind of like a made to measure pattern. But yeah, it's pretty simple, and then you'll be continuing this for the next few rows as well. So in the 4th row, it's going to be double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3. And then in the 5th row, it's going to be double crochet 4, double crochet 4, and then it continues on just adding a chain each time. So it's a pretty simple pattern for the actual spider web and pretty easy to get the hang of. That is our last double crochet for this row, because we see where we already started, and slip stitch into the second chain from that space. Keep it consistent. I'm going to move my stitch marker from where it was before into where we just chained, so, or slip stitched. So hopefully that works. And I'm going to chain 2 like every row, and that's our double crochet to start, and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet, and then it's, you can see how it's expanding and looking a little more spiderweb-ish. 1, 2, 3, double crochet, double crochet. Okay, from here I'm just going to speed it up and meet you back at the next row. I just finished doing 16 rows of this, and for my personal sizing I like to do 17 rows. So what we did was we started with 12 double crochets. The second row we did 12 double crochets with a chain 1 in between each space, 12 double crochets with a chain 2 in between each space, and then kept increasing from there. So the last row I did was double crochet, chain 15, double crochet, chain 15. I measured this against myself, so to make sure that it was my desired size, and how I did that is I just held it up by where these 4 crochets are to where my neckline would be, so kind of your shoulders, and that's how you understand if you like the sizing. I'll show you that in a minute. But this will be the 17th row, will be my final row before I attach this to the back panel. So this will be the front panel. As you can see, super big. It's expanded a lot. And yeah. So I'm just gonna continue on from my last row. So first I'll do my chain 2. And then I'll do my chain 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then I just double crochet into the next space like I've been doing. And again, I count 16 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, double crochet, cool. And I'll continue doing that all around and meet you back when I finish this panel and the second panel to show you how it measures against myself, as well as how to attach these two panels and then start on the sleeves. Okay, for sizing, this is my original top and it's a much more drapey version of the pattern, and I made it about a year ago. So since I made it a year ago, the yarn has obviously stretched out because it's acrylic. And this is my original neckline, and it used to be more tight and correctly fitting. It's stretched out over time, so it kind of goes past my shoulders and like drapes off me. So I don't want to do that with this pattern. So how I'm gonna measure it against myself and put it together will make it a tighter neckline, and this is how you'll size your own spider webs. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to size my top against myself to make sure it fits right and is drapey the right way, and how you're going to attach both sides of your spiderweb top. So I have one panel that I just finished of my top. This will be the front of it, and what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I have about 4 double crochets here. So I have 4 double crochets here and 3 hole spaces, and this is going to be what my neckline is and how I attach it to the back. I just measure it against myself. It's the right drapiness because I know it's going to stretch a little bit over time, and then it is also like my ideal size, so it will land on my shoulders right here and maybe even droop across in the future. This is also where I'm going to end up attaching to the back panel and start making my sleeves. So my sleeve will be here. It's going to start here. It's probably going to attach at the next hole and then go around my arm, if that makes sense. So that's how I measure against myself and make sure it's the correct amount of rows. And I'm just going to make a second panel real quick. That is the exact same size as this. Okay, so I'm back. This is my first completed panel, and I put my stitch markers on the 2 double crochets that I know I want for my neckline. So this double crochet, and then there's 2 double crochets in between the left and the right side. And then I have my second panel. The yarn is still attached on this side, and I just slip stitched into my last double crochet. I'm going to attach this double crochet to the back panel. So for this, I'm going to put my hook back where I just slip stitched into the top of that double crochet. And then I'm going to put my hook into this double crochet so they are flush together. And then I am going to slip stitch those 2 together. Just like so, and pull it through, and that is how you attach it. And then I know that for double crochets down, I'm going to attach it on this side, but from here you can start working on your first sleeve so you don't have to cut off your yarn again. So that is what we're going to do, and then when we start on our next sleeve, that is when we are going to attach the other side. So for this, I kind of measured it against myself and understood what I need for my arm to be able to fit through, and that is about 4 spaces for my arm to be able to go through. So what I'm going to do is chain 2 to create a double crochet like we did before, and then I'm going to do my chain 16 right here. If you did more or less rows than me, that's going to be a different number, but for me it is going to be the chain 16, and then double crochet here, chain 16 here, double crochet here, and then in between these two I'm going to do another chain 16 so it just looks the same as the rest of the top, and then double crochet here, chain 16, double crochet, chain 16, and then slip stitch into the chain 2 we're creating here. Repeat doing that row all the way down the rest of the sleeve so it looks pretty much flush with everything else you've created. So I already chained 2, now I'm gonna chain 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then I'm going to double crochet into the back panel. So I'm going to go as if I'm working into the back panel, double crochet, chain 16 again, double crochet here, still on the back panel, and then because I'm going to be making a space that is in between both the back and the front panel acting as the side, I'm just gonna chain 16 so it looks flush with the rest of the garment. But if you want more or less space, you can adjust it how you'd like. And then onto my front panel, be double crocheting, making sure it's the correct space, chain 16, and double crochet into the next space, again on the front panel, chain 16, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 2 we did earlier, just like we do at the end of our other rows. And from there, that is one round of our sleeve space, and you'll continue working. For me, it's 5 chain spaces, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain spaces into each round until you reach the desired length of your sleeve. So I'm just gonna slip stitch into my last row, chain 1, and then cut off, and I'm finished with my sleeve. Sweet. And that is the end of the spiderweb top. Looks like this. Still have both my stitch markers from the start of the sleeves, and I'll show you how the top looks like on. And this is what the finished product looks like. Compared to my old one, it's super symmetrical and just flush all around. Sleeves go flushly in. You can kind of tell where I changed the type of yarn I was using to my second ball. But yeah, this is the final product.